What is good, y'all? First moto vlog in my new home. Whew, this feels surreal still to this moment, but I'll update you guys on what has happened, what's going on, and what's going to be happening moving forward. Ja? Out, but we're not squidding out today. We are riding with full gear because I've never ridden a motorcycle in Florida before, much less South Florida. Yeah, these people drive very, very aggressively, so no risks today. And we are doubled up with the lovely fiance of mine. Yes, I am engaged as well, for those of y'all who don't know this. This is news. First things first, we gotta stop by the gas station. I'll talk a bit more about the move, why the move, and things about the channel moving forward, because geographically speaking there have been changes, so naturally content wise there will be changes. I gotta check on my tires. I feel like they're a little low on air. Good thing both of us are pretty light, so you don't, there's not too much decompression going on there in the back, but still, oops. We have this gas station right next to our house, which is convenient. Fill up real quick. This is what I love about motorcycles. No matter the gas prices, you don't end up spending that much. We're going to a Argentinian grocery / restaurant, Graciano's, up in Aventura. So if you didn't know yet, we are living in Miami. We're gonna go straight though. We're doubled up here, as I mentioned. First time on the interstate too, but I gotta get used to it because out here everything's on the interstates. I have a big smile on my face right now. You could probably hear it, but you can't see it. Ugh, palm trees and bikes. You know, Gabe a few years back, that's me. If you told me I'd be doing this right now on a liter bike out in Miami, coming out of my garage, I would have thought you were lying. But here we are. South Florida, baby. I'm sorry if the wind's bad. I hope it's not, because this is truly my first ride, and I want you guys to be a part of it. But our sensory has to be on a level 12,000. Whatever you're used to riding, whatever your little rules are, amplify that shit, because they are crazy out here. I'm not joking. I'm certain I'll catch someone swerving in lanes just right now alone. So taking it easy. But let's talk to y'all about Florida. Why the hell are you in Florida? Aren't you from Boston? Yes, I am from Boston. And my fiance and I have recently purchased a home here in Miami. So, I mean, there's a lot of history and context behind Miami, but like before I even met my partner, I was super, and can't even hear myself think. I was super into the city. I had been here a bunch of times as a young adult. I've been here as a child, and warm weather is obviously one of the huge reasons that entices me. But more than anything, it's just how the city kind of operates in terms of the Latino community having such a strong influence here. I am Brazilian American, grew up in Boston, and while there's a lot of us out there, we just kind of live on the fringes of society. And whereas in Florida, it's embraced as opposed to dismissed, if that makes sense. Now that's, you know, one of many reasons. Another one is that given the pandemic, the company I work for and many other companies in the industry I work in have allowed employees to go full-time remote. And last year, my partner and I, we went on a full, what was it, like a 6-week, month and a half road trip across the United States, down to Florida, and back to Boston. And in that road trip, we were kind of scoping places we would consider living. And while California has... I will live in California one day, as a promise. It's just out of the question right now financially. And even it was, you know, in the question or whatever, the housing market the way it is ridiculous. And one of the big things for us was buying. Because I am huge on like just personal finance, financial literacy, and all of that. And while rent is definitely a super feasible option right now, especially with the way the housing market is. That was just something that was a non-compromise for me. I wanted to buy. I want that, you know, those monthly payments are at least nominally going towards an asset that I own. Buying was a huge thing for me. Massachusetts, much like California, out of the question for buying, especially if you want to be in the Boston area. Look at that view. The cost of living right now in Massachusetts is just out of this world. It's astronomical. So that wasn't an option. And in all honesty, even if it was, I wasn't interested. You see, growing up in Boston, I went to school in Boston, I did everything in Boston, and it's part of who I am. It's the way I operate, the way I think. I was just more than ready for a change. So Miami, it gave me the option of warm weather, so I could do this all year. A culture that I'm into, I really am into exploring, and there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to learn about Miami that I didn't know before. I do my best for research and everything, but you only learn when you're here. And finally, cost of living. You can still find homes here for under $300,000. Homes. And if you're looking for a condo, that's very much in the question as well. There we go about the drivers I was mentioning. But yeah, with all of that, we decided on Florida, on Miami specifically, not just anywhere in Florida. And so that brings us here today. Keep the blue Lambo real quick. So, with that context out of the way, this is the first ride. And I don't know, we've been driving around Florida for a while now. We did a month here this past summer. I did a couple weeks when we were scoping out places to live on at that road trip. And so like I did a lot of driving here with the Jeep. What I haven't done yet is ride on 2 wheels out here. Like not even a bicycle. Some interesting and sad statistics. First and foremost, Florida is not a helmet state. There's no helmet laws here, so maybe you'll catch some. Yep. Oh, you got a helmet. Aprilia. That was nice. But a lot of people you see are not wearing helmets. And I think Florida is number 3 in number of registered motorcycles on the road. So all of the states, a huge state, right? It's like what, the 3rd most populous. So we're a 3rd in terms of registered motorcycles. California is number 1. However, Florida is number 1 in motorcycle fatalities, despite having less bikes on their roads. And And sport bikes actually make up a majority of those. So cruisers, Harleys, you know, things of that nature are significantly less likely, based on those stats, to have fatal accidents. Now, how much is the rider, you know, versus circumstances a factor in that? It's hard to tell. And how much is the helmet law a factor in that? That's also hard to say. You can't, because you can't blame everything on, you know, on the helmet laws, because New Hampshire doesn't have, in fact, a shit ton of states don't have helmet laws, but it is noteworthy in my opinion. The car culture here is real though. So those statistics being important and always a constant reminder to me. If I think I'm getting too cocky, if I'm riding and I'm like cruising and going fast and swerving, which generally is not in my nature, but if I catch myself, those statistics are definitely going to come to mind. More than anything, I just wanted to update you guys. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded. We've been really busy painting the house and getting it to our liking, and I have to constantly remind myself that it is truly a process. It's not just an overnight thing, because you just want that place to be ready like now and call it a day, but it takes a little while. Something I need to get is mesh jacket, because with those statistics I definitely want to be gearing up a lot. I don't want to be as tempting as a t-shirt is. Even today I almost went out in a t-shirt and my fiance said she was going to take her jacket. She has a mesh one. So I was like, alright, you're a good influence on me, because I was going to ride with the t-shirt, but if you're riding a jacket, I'm going to ride a jacket too. So, but I got leathers, and leathers, even though the design perforated for warm weather, this is just really, really, really hot. Even in the evening like this, so gotta look in some mesh, some good style mesh gear. I don't like to wear those vests because they're pretty much useless. Those battle vests or whatever. Well, that just about wraps up our first ride. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. There's a lot of exciting things to come up. I'd love to have you guys along the ride. Literally. It's a lot more than just moto vlogs here, although moto vlogs will be a bit more frequent. And who doesn't like a nice moto vlog?